But I think one of the things that, especially in today's day and age, that you have been recognized for is this commitment to mental health. So I guess it's not a leadership style. It's a little bit more like what is the sort of philosophy of engaging with people. Can you talk a bit more about how this became a podium for you and, how it kind of shows up at work in like the outside of work, like just in terms of like the broader community outside of G2, I guess I mean.
Yeah.
And where does that come from, and like what has it meant for you in your career?
Yeah, sure. So I think the quick story on that is essentially that. I started G2 a little bit after my 29th birthday in the CMO role, and what was really interesting was that I was the happiest that I've ever been. I'd got my dream job. I got it by like the goal I wanted to get there. I wanted to get to the C-suite by 30, and then within about a month of getting the job, I just started to feel like, what's the word? I started to kind of just feel that itch that I had felt before that kept me like pushing and moving on up. And it kind of really made me reflect, because I was like, fuck, Ryan, like, what is wrong with you? Like, you've literally been working your whole life to get to this job at this age and with a company that you really admire. And you enjoyed it for like a month, and now you're like unhappy, and now you're thinking like, well, you need to be the CEO, or maybe you need to be a VC. And I kind of had this, I think I was really fortunate to like have that realization at a young age, because I looked around and I was like, okay, like I've ticked all the boxes that I want to tick, and like I'm not satisfied. Like this like isn't the way it's meant to be or the way I thought it would be. And so it kind of like forced me to go down like a really deep and dark path really quickly of self-reflection. And so, funnily enough, my wife is a clinical psychologist, and naturally around this time, like I was starting to feel really depressed because I had taken on this role. I think I felt the imposter syndrome of being young, being so much younger than all of the other senior leaders on the team. And then I had this immense weight on my shoulders that I think I had mainly put there myself to like drive impact really quickly, to prove to myself, to prove to the company that I was worthy. And so long story short, I think I realized that like I was using my job and my career and my possessions and my success as like a way to feel self-esteem for lack of self-esteem that I actually had at my core, from like a young kid and from being bullied when I was younger. And so yeah, I was able to, I think essentially I had within maybe like this 12-month period, like I went from like being semi-suicidal, to be honest, to then being so much like through it. And I just felt I was really proud of where I'd gotten to. And I felt like I'd learned so much about myself. And I kind of wanted to just share that with people, I guess, essentially, and let them know that like, it's okay to like have these like feelings and to talk about them. And so step one for me was I literally just, instead of like having my therapy sessions on my calendar as private, I just made them not private, right? That was like my step one of like coming out of like the mental health closet, essentially, right? Which is crazy that was a thing, because like no one's afraid to put like gym on their calendar or like Peloton or workout. That's like a badge of honor when you work on your body and your health. But like when you work on your mind, like you're ashamed of that, it's totally fucked up. And so the more I talked about this and the more I thought about it, I realized that, I wanted to start sharing more publicly about it. And so I started sharing more. I did an op-ed for the World Health Organization, an op-ed for HBR, an op-ed with NBC, and a bunch of different publications that started reaching out as I started speaking. Because I think they liked the angle that it was like this executive talking about something that no one really talks about. And so that then I think over time helped me feel more connected with my team, actually.